Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Expanse Reaction. This is not live, my name is Matt. Okay, we're about to watch episode 7. So let's talk about previous episode for a little bit. Episode 6, it was called Rock Bottom, I think. So what did we learn in that episode? I feel like it was a weird in-between episode. Okay, so they dropped a huge thing at the end, which is Anderson Dawes is controlling the police station of what is the name of the place? Is it Ceres? I think it's Ceres. It's in the belts. It's like the capital of it, kind of. It's the main hub. So he is controlling essentially all of Ceres. So it's like okay, OPA is in charge of that. They bought the police station for some reason, and Miller investigated a little bit too deep uh, into that, which made it so now. Okay, so he got the attention of Anderson Dawes, and then he managed to trick Anderson Dawes in such a way that he believed that he was only investigated because he had a personal interest in Julie Mao. And then it's like, well, no, actually, he's trying to figure out what's going on. He gets caught by his boss, and then it's revealed that she is actually working for Anderson Dawes. So he gets fired and escorted out of the police station. And my assumption is that he's gonna get fucked up now, possible dead. So yeah, that's what's going on. I want to say though that when she questioned Miller about whether or not he told anybody and whether or not there are any copies of that encrypted hard drive thing that he found. And he said no to both. Now I don't think they made a copy of the hard drive because it was encrypted, but he did tell. It's not even that he told the other lady, it's that he watched it while the other lady was present. While we're at it, I'm gonna somebody told me what the name of that lady is, so let me scroll a little bit. So what was her name? Octavia. So yeah, Octavia. We need to remember that. So she also knows all this shit that Miller figured out because he told her a lot of the initial information that he got, and then when he retired the hard drive, retrieved, sorry, and then watched it, he was with her, so she knows practically everything as well. I'm not sure if Miller told her what his theory about what's going on was. He probably did, uh, but that's going on. She knows pretty much everything. And I said this like 2 episodes ago. I said a previous episode. I think Miller's gonna get fucked now because like if the entire city is controlled by Anderson Dawes and he knows too much, and they know that he knows too much, then what do we do here? We get rid of that guy. You know, that to me sounds like Miller's either gonna get fucked or he has to flee the belt. And I don't think Miller is the kind of person that would flee. I feel like he is too much of a stubborn asshole to do it. He might. We don't know that because he could be like, I have to get away, not to survive, but to get the information out. You know, anything like that. Um, but whatever the case, I think he's gonna die because now Octavia knows everything. So even if he dies, it's okay. She can carry on. That's how I see it. Okay. Anyway, we also met Diogo and Mateo of the Shinglong ship. Um, Diogo doesn't matter; he's dead. Uncle Diogo. No, Uncle Mateo. Diogo is the kid. And by the way, that kid. And I noticed this while I was editing the previous episode. I wasn't sure, but at the beginning of the previous episode, there is this scene with the kid that Miller, the kid that was like stealing water, leaking water, and Miller was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And then he let him go. That kid. So they show that scene at the beginning of previous episode, and I was like, "Oh, they show stuff that matters on the preview." So this might come back and matter in some way, shape, or form. And then I forgot. But when I was editing it, I was like, is that kid fucking. Is that kid? And it turns out that yes, in fact, Diogo is that kid that Miller let go. I wasn't sure of it, but then somebody actually confirmed it for me. So they saved that they saved me the trouble of like not being able to Google that shit. But yes, that was that kid, and I just want to point that out. I'm not sure if that's gonna matter, but it seems like he's going to matter to some degree. But I'm not sure if that initial time we saw him is going to matter. Anyway, so Uncle Mateo, somebody also explained to me what he did. So he slung the rocks at them, and then they blew him up with rockets. That's what somebody told me. It's difficult to tell. Like I literally watched that scene a couple times, and I was like, I'm not sure what's happening, but somebody blew up, maybe two of them, and it's like, okay, so that's what happened. So Uncle Mateo's plan seems to be that he just wanted to get fucked up. He just wanted to get blown up because he's gonna hit the news, Like somebody's gonna be able to look at that and go like, hey, some Martians blew up that Belter worker. What the fuck? Something like that. So it's like escalating the situation further. Because like we're at this point where we're about to have a fucking class war. Intergalactic class war in the background of the other war going on with the blue shit. Let's talk about the blue shit. Can we talk about the blue shit? Let's talk about the blue shit. I don't know what the fuck the blue shit is. It's the GM particle. Um, I have I literally don't know what the fuck I don't even know if the blue shit is a thing. I'm just assuming it is because of what the show told me. Miller figured out at the end of previous episode that, well, he didn't figure it out. He theorized that it seems that some scientists at Phoebe's station discovered something, and it would be something that had a lot of power or something in order for people to be able to go to freak the fuck out about it. Somebody figured out that that's what was going on. They invaded Phoebe's station in order to get it, and that seems to be simultaneously like coinciding with the with the info that Lopez gave us a couple episodes ago, where he said like Phoebe station went dead silent a couple weeks ago, or I don't know how much time ago, and we went to figure out what happened there, and everyone was dead, and also every info data whatever was every computer was destroyed. So it seems like somebody deliberately destroyed it in order for information to not get out. So the timeline seems to be people, scientists at Phoebe's station figure some shit out and discover the GM particle, the blue shit. And then somebody figured that they figured that out, invaded, took that shit, and now they're sort of the group of people, the army, whatever, that have the blue shit that have been blowing up shits, that destroy the Canterbury, that frame and destroy the Donager, all those people. And they seem to have super high tech because of the blue shit. Whatever the scientist found, I have no idea what that is. But I'm assuming it's the same thing we saw in episode 1, so that, whatever that is, human life powered energy. I'm just gonna throw that out there because of what we saw in episode 1. There was like a person coming out of a blue orb, and it looked like they were fucked up and maybe in pain. And then Julie Miles screamed. So let's say that's what it is. They figure out the Philosopher's Stone. They figure out that if we sacrifice people and put their souls question mark into this machine question mark, we make the blue energy, which is really good. And okay, fuck that shit. Maybe it's like Doom. I've been playing Doom lately. Maybe it's like Doom. They found a portal to hell and they're channeling hell energy into making limitless energy. That's so fucking stupid. Anyway, we need questions to get answered to. Holden and the Rosinante crew, they're going out to do a mission for Fred Johnson. They're gonna find the lone survivor of the Canterbury, not the Canterbury, not the Donager, the Scopuli, who I would assume it's Julie Mao. It was said that it was. What was the name of that shit? I don't even know if I wrote it down. It was a code name. It wasn't a real name, so it probably was Julie Mao. Okay, so that's what happened. Yeah, I think that covers everything. Okay, so getting ready. Yeah, we're ready. So the Expanse season 1 episode 7. Let's go. Oh yeah, the spine. I don't know if any of y'all watched the actual discussion that I had of that episode, but I figured way later in the video that was the spy that Christian used in Taiko Station. It wasn't just some random, it was the actual spy.
There must have been a time when it was good. Your daughter, she was a fighter. She deserved to be helped. Not everybody does, you know? Brass sends me cases like Julie's when they don't want them sound.
Question, is Miller gonna die in this scene?
Mars went ballistic when a Belter attacked the Scipio Africanus. So now they're patrolling every shipping lane between here and Eros.
Okay. So because of what Uncle Mateo did, shit's difficult for us.
Just got pinged by a ranging laser. They're just giving us a little love tap. Let us know they're watching.
Well, if that love tap turns into a target lock, we need to be ready.
To fight all of Mars?
Hey, y'all. Why are we broadcasting?
What are you talking about? No one's broadcasting anything.
Yeah, we are.
He's right. It's a radio transmission coming from between the holes.
No, I think I see a suit. I think I see a person. Or did Frank Johnson set up a spy here? Wait. Yep. Is he? Is it the spy? Is it the fucking spy? I like this place. Looks nice. Why are we wearing wizard robes now?
What?
What the fuck is this shit?
No, I wasn't murdered.
This looks like a fantasy setting now.
I see one person on the ground or one helicopter overhead. You'll be living on basic assistance by the end of the month.
Yes, ma'am.
I like how those look. Windmills? The title of this episode is Windmills. And they move with wind, so.
Alice Holden.
Oh
I'm
shit.
Christian Avasarala, UN Deputy Undersecretary.
This about Jimmy?
It is.
I got a peek of your flight plan. I saw you were headed for Eros. I hitched a ride.
But why were you transmitting off of our
I was
ship?
just calling them to arrange a pickup.
Too bad we're not going to Eros.
You're not.
They launched a boarding skiff on an intercept course.
They must have picked up this arsehole's transmissions. They probably think we're smugglers, and now they're coming to check us out.
You think the Martians are gonna buy whatever story you're selling?
Will you shut him up, please?
No, look, you need to. Oh!
Talk, motherfucker. I cannot tell if he actually had something he wanted to say or not. Or if he was just buying time. Because he was just stalling, and I cannot tell if it was because he was a dumbass or not.
Detective Shop.
Voila. Alright.
Like some bad virus you just can't shake.
Now he's just one of us. Tonight he's my guest. His drinks are on me. Usually when a man is about to lose everything, he realizes what mattered to him most. He sees it clearly for the first time.
I see everything I need to see.
Maybe you haven't lost everything yet. Huh? When you do, you'll know your way home.
Brave woman. part of a family co-op. It's hard enough for one husband to get along with me. Cervantes.
Ah.
Jimmy liked to think of himself as a knight. He thought it was a funny story. I never broke it to him that it was a tragedy. Can we stop with the bullshit now? I like living near the land. Doesn't make me stupid.
Was he involved?
Of course not. He would never.
Oh, no, wait, I know this one. My boy was a little angel. He never even hurt an insect. Oh, if you'd just seen what a wonderful child he was. And I thought we were done with the bullshit. I need to understand your son.
And what will that accomplish now?
I have two governments, and whatever the hell the OPA calls itself, on a course toward a war that your son started.
That is true.
You haven't told me he's dead. You're dancing around it.
Mm-hmm.
Rocinante, we are going to need your flight plan and lading. Please transmit them now. Rocinante, you have been flagged for inspection per MCR Trade Regulation A066. Do not deviate from your present course. If you do, you will be fired upon.
All right, we're getting boarded.
I know a few tricks might help get us out of this jam.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Either way this plays out, you're dead. And I'm the one that's gonna bring you the good news. You're loose end. Another person. We're just caught up in the churn is all.
I have no idea what you just said.
This boss that I used to work for in Baltimore, he called it the churn. When the rules of the game change.
What game?
The only game.
Life.
Survival.
Hmm.
Where the jungle tears itself down and builds itself into something new. Guys like you and me, we end up dead. Doesn't really mean anything. Or we happen to live through it, and, well, that doesn't mean anything either.
Damn it. He's gonna fuck us. The bird! There was a fucking bird since episode 1 just hanging out here. Like the fucking mouse, the hamster, whatever. The bird could be a robot too.
Anubis 1A is still here on Eros racking up dock fees. Kinda interested to know what's in it for you, amigo. Hey, listen, I gotta go. But watch your shoot. Your things are funny these days on series. Catch you.
Alright.
I have intelligence that says your son survived the Donager. Now, will you stop posturing and help me keep him that way?
Where is he?
Why did Jimmy leave? You put all your hopes on your son. I pressured mine to join the Marines, or I wouldn't pay for his education. First step in a career of public service, like mine and my father's. So he did what was expected. That's why he was in Callisto during the insurrection. That took his life. I've been wanting for someone to come around and tell me that it was all a terrible mistake. That my son is still alive. I'll be waiting on my deathbed for that news.
Here's the thing though.
So, I have a pretty clear idea of what I'm playing with.
I don't necessarily buy what Christian says. I mean, it fits the character, but also I don't know if I believe that. Because Christian is like that. She's the bad bitch. This motherfucker. Why has nobody noticed this?
It's all that nutty talk before that was just like warfare, right? Well done. This is a game. This is a game of pretend. And you guys are pretending to be the wrong thing.
We need to pretend to be Martians.
Guys, they're attack ships when they're doing covert ops. They use a special set of codes that tell other Martian ships that they are out there, they are doing the nasty and to get lost.
How do you know all this?
I'm a good spy.
Back when I was flying transport for the MCRN, we ran across this unflagged tanker acting kind of suspect in a pirate zone. So we prepared to engage, but when my captain hailed them, they just jabbered on and on, ending with the phrase, donkey balls.
And then we let them go. We need to pretend to be Martian spies.
Everything you need should be in your code book.
He's right. It should be in an operations locker or somewhere on this deck, somewhere right here.
Where did you get that key?
From Lopez.
Okay, never mind. He's making a breadcrumbs path. He's gonna die. He's for sure gonna die. And people are gonna follow in his tracks.
Abby? Cash me out, pal.
Miller? That's how you say goodbye? The creepy message? I was just coming to check your apartment. Thought I might find your brains splattered on the wall.
Gonna take a trip?
To where?
He's actually leaving.
Yeah.
Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna make it?
Can't come with me. Bad timing. My specialty.
We've been trying to save this land ever since before Jimmy was born. He was going to take over for us. The way we raised him, he grew up thinking he was alive because the land needed him. That's a terrible thing to tell a child.
Yeah.
We set him up to be a leader and then gave him a fight he could never win. The day before his 18th birthday, I took him out to mend a fence, and I told him to get as far away from this place as he could. And that if he didn't go, then I would, because I couldn't stand to watch what we were doing to him anymore. Get him a lovely message from him every month. Or two. From some ship or other, deep out in the system. Jimmy still hasn't found his place, but at least he's free.
You kill the power of the magnetic seal, the backup in that locker is gonna kick in and keep it shut.
That's why I'm gonna kill the power source first, so the backup doesn't trigger.
It's a good idea, but there's not enough time.
You underestimate my ability to break things.
That's a good line.
Hey, let's get something straight. Any Martians come through that airlock, we subdue and take them prisoner. Nobody's dying.
So they'll have a chance to ping the mothership? That ain't my plan.
The more people we kill, the worse this is gonna be down the line, dude.
Martians died getting us off the Doniger.
We're not killing more.
Ship that size? A few hundred?
And now you're gearing up to kill a few more like it was nothing.
Because they are the enemy right now. How much justice do you think you're gonna get for the Canterbury inside a prison cell?
If the price of justice is more innocent blood, then I don't want it.
Talking about that clown upstairs that as soon as you cut loose will sell us to the highest bidder. I'm talking about the Mickeys coming through that airlock to take us down. You logged the distress call, Holden. Welcome to the churn.
Naomi was right to be afraid of you. We are not those guys. We're not the assholes.
I'm done talking, Holden. We're about to have company.
Amos.
I will take you down before I let you take them down.
You got a clean shot, back of the head. Take it if you need it.
You don't think I'll do it?
You won't do it. I know you won't do it, Holden.
I've got it!
What? You got it?
I've got it!
Okay, open. Open that shit. Which one of the three?
Ubiquitous. And... mendacious and polyglottal. Like a couple of donkey balls.
Received and understood, Rocinante. You get those comms checked out when you hit port.
That'll work.
Woohoo! Son of a bitch! Can you believe that? Damn, I'm good.
That worked out.
Well done, y'all.
I think our boy James Holden may have mommy issues, problems with authority, and guilt for not saving the world. But I don't see a terrorist mastermind.
Your corporate spy's been compromised. He's missed his last 2 comm windows.
His final report said that Holden was heading for Eros in a converted MCRN gunship with fake transponder code supplied by Fred Johnson. So your analysis of his character notwithstanding, I've activated a Black Ops team.
Taking him off the board for a series of circumstances we don't even understand.
We're beyond circumstantial here, Christian, and we can't afford to wait for the next
Disaster in Holden's wake. Things are fragile enough out there right now.
When Holden gets to Eros, he's done.
He's not going to Eris, though. The spy said they're going to Eros, but they're not. Shit. It's great to see this old lady with this deep raspy voice just going, shit.
Next port we hit, I want your boy Amos off this ship.
What's happened?
Whatever leash you had him on, you better get him back on it.
He's not my dog.
Is the P gonna matter? Does he have, like, enhanced cybernetic data P?
Are you anything like that animal? You got topside. Amos, you call him.
No.
Good. I don't care what you're involved in. I'm just a guy trying to do my job like you and your people. And at least you can do me the respect.
A message in my loved ones.
Gonna happen.
No. He recorded that. I like that Holden actually did become enemy of the world #1. Miller?
Flip and burn, next stop, Arrow Station.
Is he fucking praying? Okay. That's it. Alright, that's the episode then. Was Miller going to Eros too? I think he was actually. Eros. Let's write that down. Okay. Okay. That was Windmills. Yeah, Windmills were not part of the episode at all, were they? I guess it was those things spinning in the background on Holden's previous house. Okay, we gotta talk about Holden's backstory. So Holden was part of a family co-op. I guess he was being custodied by 8 different people. Like, they were all his parents. And the reason why is because he was supposed to be someone that could claim back their land that they were losing or something like that. So they conceived him with that goal in mind. Like, he wasn't a normal child. He was conceived for a master plan of taking back land. Some bullshit like that. Then, and he grew up with that mentality in mind because that's what everybody told me. Hey, you're gonna be the guy that's gonna fucking save this land. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Because if you tell the kid that, of course. Like, fucking, whatever you do to people as children will fuck them for life. Like, one way or the other, they're gonna get fucked up by something. So what ends up happening is that Holden has that thing in his mind of like, this is what I'm supposed to do. But then his actual mom, the woman that actually had him, that woman that we saw in this episode, she seemed pretty cool. She eventually saw what they were doing to him, and she was like, this is fucked up. And she just said, no, this is not happening to my son. And a day before his 18th birthday, she was like, you're out. She was like, okay, go out of here, get out, never come back. And just good luck on your life. Whatever you do, I wish the best for you, but please go out and don't come back here because this is bad for you. And she even said, like, and if he wasn't willing to live, then I was gonna do it because I couldn't get to see. Like, I didn't want to see what they were gonna do to him. So that's Holden's backstory. So he was created in order for a real estate master plan by 8 families. But ultimately, his actual mom just decided this is not happening to my son because we're doing terrible things to him mentally. Just had him in order to have him fight for us. It's like, no. And so she just decided, go and be free, my child. Good luck. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty cute. And since then on, Holden has been going out, traveling through space to different stations. He hasn't found a place yet. He's just going around doing whatever and just living free. And the mom was like, he hasn't found home yet. He hasn't found a place to belong to yet. But at least he's free, which he wouldn't have been if he had stayed here. Even if we are the ones entrapping him, it would be better for him to just be free on his own. So That's Holden backstory. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That also tells us a little bit about his character, which helps because in this episode we actually had to see his character in contrast to Amos's character. And I want to talk about that a little bit because I find it really interesting because we do get to see the clearest version of Amos as a character we've ever saw in this episode, I think. And it's that the most important thing to him is survival. Okay? Survival. Nothing else. Holden actually does have beliefs and things to fight for. And we see that here when they're about to get boarded by a Martian inspection thing. Amos goes to the deck and just grabs a gun and goes like, all right, if someone comes through here, I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna kill him. It's just two people. Fuck it, who gives a shit? I can just kill him real good, real easy. And Holden is like, you're not killing more people. You're not killing more Martians, man. That's not what we're here to do. And Amos is like, they're the enemy right now. Like, whoever's our enemy, we gotta take him out because we gotta survive. Like, I'm not gonna spend the rest of my life on like some Martian gulag, dude. I'm gonna kill him. And Holden is like, killing people is bad. Killing more people that have already died in this conflict is bad. Don't do it. It's also gonna be terrible for us down the line because okay, there is a certain amount of things you can say where it's like, this is what happened. Like, there is a truth, and there is a thing of like, we're still within the like plausible deniability phase of the things that are happening, because it's like, okay, we're gonna talk about this shit, that shit blew up. I was the one that answered the distress signal, but I thought it was just a distress signal. Turns out that we would blow up because of it. And then we were boarded by the Doniger, which I thought they blew up the ship. But turns out that apparently they're being framed by another entity that had really advanced high tech in order to blow that shit up. I didn't mean to start this, like, whatever the fuck war. I really thought the Doniger were the ones that blew it up, but it turns out they weren't. And it's like, you gotta look further into this, and you might choose to believe it or not, but the truth is out there, you know? And like, even if we go to jail, we might come out of jail like 2 years down the line when those entities that have the high tech and are trying to blow everything up actually reveal themselves at some point, you know? Even then, like, I think, and like, that story, you can buy it because you can corroborate some of the stuff that it's sold to you. Like, Lopez said, oh, Phoebe's station went silent and some shit went down there, and we were questioning for that too. And it's just like, I don't know, you can say a lot of stuff and like, it fits, you know? Whatever they say fits. There's no lie that you can actually point at and say like, you're full of shit. No, because it actually fits because of what actually happened, right? They might choose not to believe it. That's true. But it is a truth. And the truth is that we actually never did anything bad here. However, the moment you shoot those two Martians boarding your ship, there's nothing you can say. There's like actually nothing you can say. Because it's like, we're being boarded, we shot him. And it's like, fuck it, you're going to jail then. You're going to the fucking Martian gulag, dude. Like, there's nothing you can say to that because it's like, you just kill him. Like, that's it. It was as easy as that. You know? So it's immediately just like, you're the villain. Fuck you if you do it. So I still, like, Holden was approaching it more from the side of like, lots of Martians died in the Doniger to get us out, and it's like, we're not killing more Martians, you know? We didn't kill the first batch of Martians either, but they did die, kind of because we were there, and they died trying to save us, and they succeeded, but like, it's kind of disrespectful to go out and killing more Martians to get out, to just keep going, and it's like, Holden was approaching it from that. I'm approaching it for like, it's a bad idea to kill more innocent people that are just doing their jobs. It's a bad idea to do that. So let's not do it. The moment we cross that line, we're fucked. We're terrorists. So let's not cross that line. So and Amos is like, I'm gonna kill him, because like, to Amos the most important thing is not what might happen down the line. It's not what's going on. It's not the world. It's not the plan. It's not any of that shit. To Amos, the most important thing is survival. Is I'm just gonna live. I'm gonna be fine. Like, and whatever gets in my way of living my life, I'm gonna kill him. It's as easy as that. So I like that. I like that we're actually getting to see more of what Amos is like, and a little bit of what Holden is like too. The Holden holds ideals, and what he has some kind of a moral compass, that and in like a clear defined thing about what being good is, and just not doing the opposite. Amos is just like, it's simpler and more gray. It's simpler because it's like, I'm gonna survive, and I guess Naomi's also gonna survive. Everyone else, I kind of don't care. And he actually said something like that in episode 2, now that I think about it. But it's like, that was more true than I would have expected. Because back then, it didn't mean much that he said it. Now it's just like, oh yeah, he really doesn't give a shit, does he? About anything other than him living, and Naomi living, I guess. So it's like, okay, sure, that's okay. I'm following, I guess. I like Alex a lot too now, because now that we actually got through the phase of him being nervous about shit, and I guess it's gonna come back every now and then because that's like a character thing, but he's also like this smooth talker, you know. He actually gets excited for shit, and he's like, yeah, whoa. It's like, I like that. I like that because somebody in the team has to be that, you know. Holden is like the edgy tragic hero. Amos is like the guy who's just like, I'm just doing my work, man. And Naomi is just like the raddest person in the group. But like, I like that Alex has, there has to be someone that has the energy, and Alex is that person, and I like that. So let's talk about Christian and Holden's mom thing. So Christian went to Holden's house to meet with Holden's mom in order to do like a psych profile on what kind of person Holden is. And I like that. I actually like that. I like that people fucking make psych profiles of things, because psych profiles are really important. They're really important, dude. Like, I enjoy the idea of understanding something before you fucking punch it. You know, just like, I enjoy understanding things. And especially people. People are complicated, man. So, the fact that Christian went out of her way, personally, to try and figure out what kind of person Holden is, it's like, I like that a lot. Because I thought, at the beginning, when I was thinking about the spy thing, I was like, well, Christian is just gonna believe that he's being an accomplice to Fred Johnson, to a terrorist attack or whatever, and he's been blowing up shit and whatever. Enemy of the world. And he became that, but Christian doesn't seem to believe it. Because Christian went to get a psych profile on Holden, and what she heard from Holden's mom is that Holden has issues regarding like where he grew up, and like his parental figures, and a hero complex maybe, but he's not like a terrorist. Like, it doesn't give you a profile of someone that was born so fucked up that they just decide to become a terrorist. That's not the profile given to you. So she's like, I don't see him as a terrorist. I just see him as like, okay, this guy had some bumps, you know, he has a messed up life, to a degree. He has some issues, but not a terrorist kind of issues. To what the reply is, Christian, I don't care. We just got information from the spy thing, and is like, Holden is stole this fucking Martian ship that they just like repainted and like put some shit outside in order to make it not look like a Martian ship, and that they're going to Arrows, and they after they met up with Fred Johnson, so it's like all right, just like things are not looking good, for Holden and the entire Rosinante crew. They seem like terrorists, so But okay, so when it was happening, I thought that Crescent was kind of full of shit because she did talk about her son, and I wrote down the Callisto's insurrection, which seems to be. So she said that she got her son to, I guess, enlist in the army or the navy or whatever, and because that's what she did and that's what her dad did. So she's like, you gotta follow the tradition. This is what we do here. I will be proud of you if you do this for me, that kind of thing. So he did that, and then he died at Callisto's insurrection, which I assume is a conflict that I don't know if it's ever gonna get mentioned again, but I wrote it down just in case. But he died at that conflict, which then made Christian think, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed my kid in order to do that shit. Because to this day, I'm still waiting for someone to come up to me and say he was actually alive all along, but it's not true. He's dead. So, yeah, Christian's son killed by OPA. I wrote that down like previous episode too. I just read it. So, yeah, we're building those pieces about Christian's son still. Wouldn't it be fucked up? Okay, while fuck you, I don't know where theory time other than shock value. What if a character we know of is Christian's son? What if Amos is Christian's son? Because Alex has a background, kind of. Holden has a background. Naomi's a girl. Amos we know nothing about. So maybe he's Christian's son. Given, I think Amos feels more like a fucking lab rat than Christian's son. It feels like he was made. Not that he was born. It's that he was made. And then he escaped the facility he was born into. And then he had to do a lot of shit in order to survive. That's the kind of character you get from Amos. A character that was born in a fucking test tube. And then escaped after realizing it was fucked up. And then he just survived whatever way he could. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking about Amos. What if it's Christian's son, though? What if that's a twist that they're saving? Alternatively, it's not Miller. So it's not OPA, but he's a belter. Like, he's clearly a belter. So he's not Christian's son. Christian's son has to be someone that is like human looking. Haylock, nah. She probably would have seen that video of that dude getting impaled by now, so I guess not. Yeah, no, Amos. Amos is running pretty strong for that candidate. Given that's just me saying shit. That's not something that needs to matter at all. So, whenever Christian was talking about her dead kid, I was thinking, she's full of shit. I was thinking, like, I don't buy what she's saying. Because Christian has been established to be a woman who doesn't give a fuck, and she will say and do whatever she needs to in order to win. That's the character Christian has been established as. So when she starts talking about that, I'm like, oh, you bitch. You're just trying to say nice things, or like fucked up things on your life in order for people to pity you, so then they may be able to reveal the information to you. And it worked. But it seems that what Christian said was actually true. Because at the end of the episode, when she's walking away, she's like, I don't think Holden's is a terror. I don't think he's bad. I'm thinking she actually is relating to Holden and to his mom. Because his mom was very honest and very emotive about saying like, I didn't want this for my son, I wanted something better, and he's great, and every couple months he always sends me a message letting me know how he's doing, and he's just super sweet. And it's like Christian hears this after revealing that shit with her son, and I'm thinking maybe Christian actually has a soft spot. Maybe she's not a heartless monster, and that spot is for a son. So whenever Holden is touching on that to Holden to his mom, then Christian is relating, and she wants to believe that Holden isn't just another criminal mastermind terrorist. That's what I'm believing right now, at least. I'm not sure, but that's how I interpreted it as. Okay, let's talk about Miller. It's funny that I said it right at the beginning. Like, Miller is either gonna A, die, or B, get away. And I'm surprised it was B. I was so ready for this motherfucker to die this episode. I was so ready. And at the beginning, there was like a scene with his phone when he's sending a message. I'm not sure if it was to Octavia or to Julie's dad. I think it was Julie's dad, but then Octavia showed up and she said that he sent her a message. I don't know. But when that was happening, he was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, whenever they send me cases, it's because they don't want the case to be solved. So when they gave me the case of your daughter missing, I should have figured out that they didn't want me to solve it. They just didn't want me to solve it. So I like that. I like that Miller is the joke. And they said this before. Miller is the joke in that police department. He's the dumbass with the weird hat that nobody wants to hang out with. He's the crazy bastard. And it makes sense that they gave them Julie Mal's case because they're like, oh, fucking Miller, fuck that. That clown, he's not gonna solve that shit. He's not gonna go too deep into it. Who gives a shit about what fucking Miller does? So now Miller is boarding a ship to Eros, I believe, who is also a dumpster, according to Octavia. So we're kind of converging, kind of, not entirely sure. So Miller is going to Eros. Christians, well, not Christians, but like Earth Force set up a Black Ops team at Eros too, because that's where they thought that the Rocinante was going. And the Rocinantes apparently, it seemed like they were going to Eros. That's what the spies said, but then they said we're not. But they might. Like, I actually don't know exactly where they're going. They probably said it, but I wasn't paying attention. They're at the very least nearby of Eros. They're gonna like pass Eros, So we're kind of converging then. Miller is going there alone. Octavia said that she wanted to go with him. Well, she didn't say that. She said that he would need someone to be with him. But then he was like, I have to do this alone. Miller is still kind of marked for death, by the way. Still. So he's going there. He's hitting there. It seems that he pawned like a ton of shit in order to get money in order to be able to travel. That's what I think he did at the end. But I'm not sure. So that's one thing. The Black Ops team's the second thing. And then the Rocinante crew is not there. The fucking spy? What are we gonna do with the spy? The spy that we have on our ship just hanging out there. They know he's a spy, but I don't think they know what kind of spy he is. I think he lied. I think he said, like, I'm a spy for, like, a company or whatever. In reality, he's a spy for Earth. Just, like, straight up. Maybe he is a spy for... I don't know. Like, that's the thing, is that I don't know enough about this world and enough about this dude to know how much of what he said was full of shit. I'm just gonna assume that most of what he said was full of shit. I'm just gonna assume that none of it was actually real. But let's say that some of it might have been, thing about the spy here is that it's weird because it's like we're antagonizing him because of course we are, but also it's like we could convince him that we're not the bad guys because we're not. Like we legitimately are not. But the thing is that Amos being they refer to him as an animal that he is. It's like he was willing to shut down these motherfuckers. He was willing to kill this guy because fuck it. I'm just doing what I have to do, man. And it's just like if we show the spy like a degree of compassion and if we try to tell him what's going on, whether or not he believes it or not, maybe he can do something. Maybe he can change his mind a little bit, you know? And he can stop antagonizing them. But we're not doing that because fuck you, you know? So it's weird. Like I this is just something I hate in stories and in life and in everything. And it's whenever there's no understanding between parties. When there's no understanding between one person and the other. And I hate it because it's like you get the scope of what's going on. The world doesn't. And it's frustrating because it's like if people just had perfect clarity of what's going on, everything would be solved. Literally everything would be solved if people just had perfect clarity of the situation. And and something I hate is not even trying to get that understanding. Christian is actually trying to understand Holden's psyche and background. That I like a lot, because she's trying to understand Holden. What I don't like is the fucking Earth Force just going like, fuck it, we know they're there, go kill him. Go fuck him. We're beyond past the point of trying to, no, fuck him, kill him. That's what I don't like, because it's like it's the refusal to acknowledge that things because the thing is that even if things are not the way you think they are, fuck it, we don't have the time to understand it, fuck it. But it's like that is a bad thing to do because there's crucial information you can get from these people doing this, and it's in their best interest to do it. So it's in the best interest for everyone to do it, right? Because the more we can figure out about what this shit with the scopuli was, and the blue shit and all that, the better. So if we can just figure out that, great. But nobody knows about it. We know, but nobody's even trying to know. I think Miller is. So yeah, Miller's great, but like everyone else, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know in what tangent I'm going, by the way. This is one of those weird tangents where not even I know what I'm saying. But it's like so many problems in this show, and just in general, would be solved by people just having perfect clarity and perfect understanding. Because like the spy being there, it's like the spy doesn't know them and what they are doing. They don't know the spy and they don't trust them. Right, and both of these people are keeping their secrets and are not trying to like let the other know what's going on. Both of these people are just lying to each other and coexisting, and it's like if we could like actually understand the other and like convey the crucial information we have, maybe we can start piecing together this puzzle. And like the spy might not want to backstab you and just fucking sell you out with information, you know? I'm not saying he won't because he's a spy, that's his job, but it's one of those things where it's like at the very least you're getting this like plausible deniability, because right now you're being framed as a terrorist. What we need to do is show people that we're not terrorists. What we need to do is do the opposite of what a terrorist would do. So then we might have enough enough things on our side, so then we may be able to point at those and go like, look, we didn't do that because we didn't want to, and what we're telling you is true. Please believe it. At least look into it, and then we can start figuring that shit out. So that thing, that's how I feel about a lot of us, because it's a lot of just like things are happening and parties just are doing things, and nobody's sitting back and being like, hold on, what's actually going on? Nobody except for like Miller and Christian to a smaller degree this episode, but like Miller's like the only person who's trying to figure shit out, and like Miller is the most important character in the show right now. Holden was before, but now it's just Miller. Because if Miller gets what he found out to anyone that matters, we Gucci, just like we're good. Because like he discovered the thing in Phoebe Station, the scientists discover. This is what he assumes, but it's what I'm assuming is true too. He put together about the ships, the Anubis and all that. Oh yeah, the Anubis. Apparently there was a shuttle that came from the Anubis and it's just sitting at Eris Station. That's what the dude said, maybe? I'm gonna go back and check. Anubis 1A is still here on Eros, racking up dock fees. So it's just there. It's on Eros. So yeah, that's where it's going. That's what he wants to see. So the shuttle from the Anubis is there, and like the Anubis blew up, the Scopula blew up, the fucking everything blew up, the Nonager blew up. So it's like there's a secret nobody wants to know, and I assume it's and getting that secret out is the most important thing. So fucking just say it, just tell everyone about it. All right, anything else in this episode? I don't think so. Oh, they did say that things started to get more complicated because of the Scipio, what happened with the Scipio Africanus, which I'm so fucking glad I wrote down. Because previous episode I wrote down and I was like, this is probably not gonna matter. It did, because they mentioned it in this episode, and now I actually know what it means. Mars went ballistic when a belter attacked the Scipio Africanus, and now they're patrolling every shipping lane between here and Eros. That's what happened previous episode. The Scipio Africanus is the ship that the patrol ship that those two asshole marshals were in that inspected the Xinglong with Diogo and Mateo. So they literally are referring to what Mateo did, which is just throw all the rocks to the Scipio Africanus, and then they kill the belter, and now there's a whole uproar going on about it. And so that's where it's difficult to navigate through through these parts, and that's why they're being inspected and boarded in this episode. So there you go. But anyway, I think that's it then. So yeah, The Expanse, episode 7. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of The Expanse. If you would like to see the next one, already is up on Patreon, as well as full length. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you next time, okay? Take care.